Hi everyone, this is Joy for Honeybee Stamps. I have a fun tropical card for you today using images from the Birds of Paradise, and I also did some ink blending on a Coverplate die. Now here are these fun images from the Birds of Paradise. Of course I'm using the two pink flamingos. You've got a cute guy and a cute girl, and so I'm just going to color those, and I am using some Copic markers to do the coloring. And for the flamingos I am using are 81, 83, and 85 that I'm using for the whole flamingo. And then for the beak, the black part of the beak, I'm actually using C4, C4, 6, and 8, I believe. And so I'm just going to color up these cute images. So I have the two flamingos, I've got some leaves and some flowers. I also have another piece of cardstock that has some more of the leaves and flowers because I wanted a ton of those. So I'm just going to show you the coloring on a few of these. Now, like I mentioned at the beginning, I'm also going to be doing some ink blending onto a Coverplate die. I'm using the Quatrefoil A2 Coverplate die. You have a base and a top piece, and I thought I would just do some ink blending on that and put those two together to give a really fun, unique background. So that is my plan for that. Now I really like these images from the Birds of Paradise. They're very large. All of the birds are really large, which I think is really nice. So for this design, I mean, you could get away with one of these birds and it would fill up your card panel, but the two fit perfectly, so I just like the size of these. I'm also going to be using sentiments from the Tropical Tweets stamp and from the Sea Breeze stamp. The Sea Breeze one is going to say, "You had me at aloha," and the Tropical Tweets says, "Happy anniversary." So I just thought that those two were super cute together. I wanted to have the tropical vibe, so of course you got to have all of these leaves and flowers. I'm using oranges and yellows and pinks. The oranges that I'm using are YR000 and then 00 and then 02. The greens that I'm using, I've got a few different color combinations, YG17, G43, and YG25. Then I have G14, 07, and 17 for a color combination. I'm using Y19 and Y11 for the yellow. And so I just feel like all of these colors really come together good, for a good tropical feel. Now I'm going to use the coordinating dies, which I am not a person who wants to fussy cut, so I am so thankful for coordinating dies. So for the flowers, sometimes you just kind of have to rotate the flowers around to get to the right fit, but I'm going to tape those down and run that through my die cut machine. Now I'm going to ink up this background for the Quatrefoil dies. Now I am using some really beautiful colors to blend together. I'm using Squeezed Lemonade, Kitsch Flamingo, and Salvaged Patina. Now I'm just using the yellow and pink for this card because when you blend them together in the center, you're going to get a nice yummy orange. So I did not need a third color for that. And I'm just making sure I'm just inking up enough to make sure it fits my base die to die cut that out. For the next one that I'm inking up, I'm just doing straight salvaged patina, so I'm just making sure I get that big enough and in a big enough area to lay down my die cut. So I'm going to die cut both the base and top. The base is the part of the die that has the stitching around the design. So that is really pretty. So that's going to be on the yellow and pink. And then the top plate is the one that's going to die cut out all of those centerpieces, and then that is on my salvaged patina. So I'm going to run those through my die cut machine, and then when you put them together, this is how it looks. And you'll see in just a second, you can see the beautiful stitching in the back. I love this die. I think it is absolutely gorgeous. And then these colors together are just fantastic. Now I'm going to do my sentiments. I have the cute "You Had Me at Aloha," and that's from the Sea Breeze stamp. And I'm inking that up with my Squeezed Lemonade and then adding a little bit of that Kitsch Flamingo just at the bottom. And I'm going to do this twice. It's important to do it a second time and even a third time if you need to, because that's how you're going to get a nice good blend transition between the two colors. Then I'm going to stamp the Happy Anniversary sentiment from the Birds of Paradise. I'm just going to trim this out because I don't have coordinating dies for this. There are coordinating dies available. And I'm going to use the coordinating die for the "You Had Me at Aloha" and die cut that out. Now let's put this Coverplate die together. I'm just using some liquid glue around the edges and then just adding some dots to the center so that will hold it in place. And I'm just going to line it up on the background, and I just think this is so pretty. I love these colors. But I wanted to add more of that salvaged patina, so I'm actually going to glue in some of those little pieces that were already die cut out. And I'm going to alternate between the rows of 3 and 2. And I'm just using the same shaped rows, if that makes sense. So you can see there's 2 different shaped rows. Something you also could do is add foam tape behind these pieces for dimension, and then just add a really big fun sentiment to this background, and that would be gorgeous too. Now I'm going to add some foam tape behind my cute pink flamingos because I want those to just stand out. And I love dimension on a card, so I just think that this is fantastic to have a ton of dimension. So my birds are going to have dimension, and so is one of my sentiments and some of the flowers. So I'm just going to adhere down the leaves. This is going to kind of be in the background. It's going to give me a place to put my sentiments. So the You Had Me at Aloha has some foam tape behind it, and I'm actually just going to put it below the feet of the flamingos because I want it to look like they're standing on there, so it's grounded. They're not just floating out in space. And then I'm going to add the Happy Anniversary with no foam tape behind that, just underneath the other sentiment. Now I'm going to start putting my flowers in and around this bottom part. I want it to feel really full. Some of these flowers are going to have some foam tape, and other ones are just going to slide in with some liquid glue. These little flowers are hard to place with your fingers, so I'm really thankful for these reverse tweezers. These are from Honeybee Stamps. They're really strong and they hold really good, and I think it's perfect to even hold in place to see where you want something, because then your hand is not in the way. So I think it's just perfect. Then I'm going to use that last little flower and put it on that cute little girl flamingo because she just needs a flower in her hair. I'm going to add black glaze pen to the eyes, and while that's drying, I'm going to come in with my white gel pen because if you guys follow me, you know I put white gel pen on everything for highlights. It just adds some good dimension. I'm going to add a little bit of white dots to the eyes and to the beaks, and just a little bit to the bodies. I don't want to overdo anything. I'm going to adhere this to a white A2 size card base, and then I'm going to come in with some small clear dewdrops and just add a few of those at the bottom. I just really love the dewdrops. I think they're my favorite thing. And then this card is finished. And isn't that just a fun tropical card? I love the colors. I love the size of the birds. The sentiments are darling, and then you have all the tropical flowers and leaves. It just all comes together nicely. Thank you guys so very much for stopping by and watching, and I hope that you enjoyed this project, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.